evening, this Saturday, the second day of December 2023. You're just in time for our day's news updates on Newswatch. Thank you for choosing Hope TV, the station where you look and live. I'm Tess Njenga, and we are streaming live on YouTube at Hope TV Kenya. Let's begin. It has been a big day for Kenya at the COP28 2023 United Nations Climate Change Conference in UAE with the announcement of $4.48 billion in green manufacturing deals during the launch of the Africa Green Industrialization Initiative. The launch was presided over by President William Ruto in collaboration with the COP28 presidency and other African states. Yesterday, the president argued that the world cannot afford to overlook Africa's huge potential or ignore its pressing needs. Among the deals announced include Fortescue and Kenya collaboration for a green ammonia project, boosting energy security and cutting reliance on imports, allocated $1.5 billion.
The conversation we are going to have in this meeting this afternoon is about investment opportunities, is about financing opportunities, and is about access to market. Those are the three most important things we are going to have a conversation about, and it requires us to collaborate, to work together, to build a huge consortium of collaborators. And we are inviting the rest of the world to look at Africa as a continent of opportunity. And we are packaging these opportunities, as I said. We are changing policies, we are aligning regulations, and we are providing incentives so that we can use our renewable energy to add value to our iron ore so that we can export green steel. We are using our renewable energy to process bauxite so that we can export green aluminium. We are using our renewable energy for smart agriculture so that we can have green agricultural products into the market. In our midst, we have an investment of $1.5 billion by Fortis Green geothermal plant that will be in Kenya by FFI. In our midst, we have Mark Hutchinson. I don't know whether he's in our midst. Mark Hutchinson. Mark Hutchinson is right there. We have Ed Kalishik. Is he there? Right there. We have Bruce Taffy, Special Advisor, right there. Those three gentlemen have just signed an agreement of $1.5 billion to invest in green hydrogen that is going to produce green ammonia in Kenya. A round of applause for them. I am talking about real opportunities for investment. And this is going to happen in every part of our continent. The second investment that I want to announce here is a 35 megawatt geothermal investment of $110 million by Globelec in geothermal energy, again in a place called Menengai, with an investment of $110 million. We have Mike Shole here, who concluded that agreement this morning, and Eddie Njoroge. Are they here in our midst? We can give them a round of applause. Right there. Can we give them another round of applause? Thank you very much. Again, real opportunity, real investment concluded in this COP27 as a precursor for what will be done in Nigeria, what will be done in Senegal, what will be done in Cote d'Ivoire, and in every other country, including Burundi in East Africa.
Back into the country, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki today led senior government officials in an assessment of flood risk as a result of the spilling over of the Seven Forks Dam. Briefing the media at Masinga Dam, the Interior Cabinet Secretary said with 142 dead from El Nino rains-related flooding, the government is taking measures to ensure no one else dies from the flooding by warning at-risk communities well in advance. He said they expected that the 5 dams will fill up and spill over when rains resume in a week to 10 days, and as a result, communities in Embu, Tharaka Nithi, Kitui, Garissa and Tana River counties will be affected. The Cabinet Secretary said the government has moved in force to help flood-displaced communities mitigate the effects. He said several aircraft have been mobilized to deliver medicines, food and other supplies to areas that have been marooned by floods, while the Ministry of Transport has reopened a number of roads that had been cut off by water.
Tumearifiwa na wataalamu hapa ya kwamba katika siku zijazo kama siku 10 kukinyesha siku 10 mfululizo kuendelea, bawa hili linaweza jaa, na bawa hili likijaa, maji haya yataelekea yakifuata mkondo wa mto Tana mpaka bawa la mwisho la Kiambere, na wale watu ambao wako chini ama karibu na Kiambere vile na county, na wale wengine ambao wako katika counties ambazo ziko chini ikiwemo Kitui, Tharaka Nithi kwa hali ndogo, lakini kwa hali kubwa county ya Garissa wanaweza adhiriwa. Kwa hivyo kazi yetu ni kuhakikisha kwamba wananchi hawaumizwi ama wapotezi maisha kwa sababu ya maji kama mabawa haya yatajaa, na tunaelekea hapo kuwapatia kuungana nao na ili tuwapatie ilani ya kwamba kama wataalamu watatueleza ya kwamba mabawa haya yameanza kujaa, italazimu sisi kuwatoa pale kama serikali kwa nguvu kuokoa maisha yao, lakini vile vile kuhakikisha kwamba watakuwa salama. Tutawatafutia mahali pa kwenda, tutawapatia mahali pa kukaa, tutawapatia chakula, madawa na mahitaji mengine ambayo wanahitaji mpaka wakati mvua itapungua ndio waweze kurudi.
A somber mood and grief engulfed residents of Lonon in Chapareria and Lochacha villages in Takwel Belt, West Pokot County on Friday evening during an emotional send-off of 3 young men killed last Tuesday by the multi-agency team undertaking a security operation in the area. Those laid to rest were 2 men of the same family, Samuel Lokomol, aged 20, and Petero Lokomol, aged 21, at Lochacha village, and Rotich Katilo, aged 22. Tension remained high in the areas as leaders from the county, led by West Pokot Senator Julius Murgo, Deputy Governor Robert Komole, and members of parliament, took the bodies for burial in the villages. During the day on Friday, the leaders led residents demonstrating in Kapenguria town against the government over the killings. Locals claim that the 3 were allegedly killed by grenades thrown by the multi-agency team who were conducting a security operation along the West Pokot and Turkana border.
Tunataka kuambia William Samoei Ruto, sisi tulikupatia kura, lakini serikali ama askari yako wameua watu wetu kule Lochacha. Tuko na huzuni sana kama wakaji West Pokot.
Tumesimama kusema kabisa we are against this government. Na hakuna penye mnatupeleka. And we demand our right. Tuko na haki yetu kuchungwa na serikali. Na tunataka hii kunyanyaswa na government ifike hata AICC. Ifike ICC. Kwa media pia serikali imejaribu kutunyanyasa. Kwa media tunapeana information lakini ikifika pale si ile information inatoka.
Kitu ya huzuni sana. Na ni mtu hakukuwa na hatia. So ndio nataka kusema kwamba tunataka kulani hiyo kitendo, na tuseme kama watu ambao tunawakilisha watu wa Pokot, sisi tunaona kwamba serikali imekuwa na maonevu, kwa sababu hata mambo ya NPR majirani wetu wote walipewa, lakini Pokot basi atiati mpaka pande hii hawajapewa. Na katika vichwa ya wale ambao wanasema wanashughulikia mambo ya serikali wanasema kwamba wa Pokot wako na mabunduki. Hii majirani wote, kwa sababu serikali imeshindwa kuprovide security ya watu na mali yao, ndio watu walijipanga na kutafuta vile ambavyo wataweza kujilinda na mali yao. Lakini sasa wengine wako na advantage ya kutumia silaha ya serikali kunyanyasa wa Pokot. Na hiyo ndio tunataka kusema si mzuri. Kwa hivyo sheria iwe moja kwamba kama watu wapewe bunduki ya serikali, kila mtu apewe. La sivyo kila mtu anyang'anywe, na sisi wote tukae na serikali jitolee sasa kutulinda na mali yetu.
Away from that, the National Council of Churches in Kenya, NCCK, Bungoma County, is now urging the national and county government to fulfill the promises they made to the citizens. While addressing the press, the religious leaders pointed out that it has been more than 1 year since the leaders took charge of the government and they have not seen its fruits. They have also strongly opposed the privatization of some government institutions. At the same time, they have said the nation is not ready for a referendum, saying the interests of the different communities deserve to be considered.
Na tukisoma ya kwamba hata kufuatia yale maagizo na wito uliotolewa na wanasiasa wakati wa kuuza sera zao, hawajaweza kutekeleza hata moja. Tumeweza kuendelea kuona watu wakilia pale na huku, na jambo hili ndilo limetufanya sisi kama kanisa na msikiti ama Waislamu kwa jumla tuungane pamoja ili tuweze kuchangia tupate suluhisho kwa mambo ambayo inakumba taifa nzima na hata katika kaunti yetu ya Bungoma. Kuweza kuwaelezea kwamba uchumi imefika katika kiwango ambacho kila mtu hajatamani kuona, na kwa hivyo tunaomba sana ya kwamba viongozi ambao wamekabidhiwa nyadhifa za kuongoza nchi hii na hata kaunti hii waweze kuwa waangalifu ya kwamba Wakenya mashirika ambayo hapo awali zimekuwa kwa serikali siweze kuuzwa kwa watu raia na kampuni ambazo sio za serikali. Jambo hili tumeona sisi kama kanisa kwamba waweze kulifutilia mbali, kwa sababu itaharibu zaidi hali ya uchumi nchini, na tena zaidi serikali itakuwa inajiusa, kwa sababu watu wasio serikali watakuwa wana usemi ulio mkubwa sana katika masuala ya uongozi katika taifa kuliko serikali yenyewe, na hapo itasababisha matatizo mengi.
To elected leaders to serve the electorate and refrain from early political campaigns. Bungoma County still ranks highly in matters of gender-based violence. Despite the great investments made, the number of teenage pregnancies is on the rise. We urge all stakeholders and partners to join together to address this menace.
Hawalalamiki bure. Mount Elgon imekuwa neglected for a long time. Kwa vile wanavyolalamika, maji inatoka Mount Elgon, lakini hao wenyeji hawapati. Sasa ukilalamika hivyo, hiyo ni lalamishi ambalo ni halali. Tena ningependa niseme kwamba hapa Bungoma tumekuwa na insecurity, kutokuwa na amani katika nchi hii. Lakini ndiposa tunaangalia hawa vijana wenye wamekuwa katika street. Vijana wamekuwa wadogo, lakini wanapokuwa wakubwa during maturity hawajulikani wanaenda wapi na mauaji inaelekea.
And police in Thika, Kiambu County, have recovered electricity installation equipment belonging to Kenya Power and Railway Metals, estimated to be worth millions, from a shop in Thika town. Among the equipment confiscated included rolls of copper and aluminium wire cables and railway line metals believed to have been stored in a store for sale to scrap metal dealers. Some of the cables displayed to journalists at Thika police station had already been dismantled and oiled to perhaps conceal their source. According to Thika West Sub-County Police Commander Lawrence Muchangi, sleuths acted on a tip-off from members of the public before they raided the store where the critical national infrastructure was found. Muchangi revealed that one suspect from the shop that had been selling plastics was arrested and detained at Thika Police Station for interrogation before arraignment in court on Monday next week.
Hii chuma ilikuwa imehifadhiwa kwa store ya duka yenye inauza plastics, sio ati ni yule mtu anauza vitu kama ya scrap metal, ni tofauti. Ndio nasema tukishirikiana na watu wa Kenya Power na watu kutoka Ledwis ndio tutaweza kupata, tuna suspect ni bidhaa yenye dhamana ya mamilioni ya pesa, na tunaomba kwa ushirikiano ya Kenya Power, Kenya Ledwis, tutaweza kupata the exact amount ni ngapi. Katika sheria ya kudeal na scrap metal kuna ile sheria imewekwa. Tungeomba wenye wana deal na scrap metal wafuatilie hiyo sheria. Iko kwa sheria, yule mtu anakuja kukuuzia hiyo scrap metal mpaka uweke details zake, ile aina chuma amekuuzia na ile kilo amekuuzia. Na tukifanya namna hiyo, kama iko mtu atakuja kulalamika ati kuna kitu yake imeibiwa mahali fulani, itaweza kuwa rahisi kudhibitisha ni nani alikuwa. Wananchi tumekuwa na challenge ya kuwa na wizi ya transformer katika hii area yetu, nyayo za stima. Naomba wananchi tushirikiane na polisi na kila mtu awe wa kujitolea sana sana kwa hii wizi ya transformer. Kila mtu mwenye yako karibu na transformer, stima ikipotea tu mara moja, wenye wako karibu wanachungulia ndio kupata wenye wanaiba hizo transformer. Na mtu akipatikana mara moja polisi wajulishwe na tutaweza kuchukua hatua na ndio tukomeshe hii wizi ya transformer.
Well, on that note, let us take a short break on Newswatch tonight. Don't go away.
Yesu ndiye njia.
Mtoto gani katika hii ulimwengu ameitwa Mungu mkuu?
Nasema akasema audhu billahi.
Hata leo usisema audhu billahi, tafadhali usikize.
Yesu ndiye njia, uchambuzi wa masuala tata katika Biblia na vitabu vingine vya kidini.
No, we don't believe that Christ was crucified. Christ was taken right to heaven by 4 angels, 4 archangels.
Kama Muhammad ndiye alikuwa wa kwanza kuleta dini ya Kiislamu na alikuja after Jesus, sasa inawezekanaje Ibrahimu awe Muislamu, Musa awe Muislamu?
Yesu ndiye njia, jadala wa moja kwa moja kati ya walimu wa Kikristo na dini zingine.
Wanasema Mwenyezi Mungu ana mtoto. Jambo hilo wanasema limeleta jambo ambalo linachukiza.
Siri ya Mungu ambaye Mungu amejidhihirisha katika mili, hii yote ni ukafiri.
Mmefanya makosa makubwa sana kusema kwamba Isa ibn Maryam ni Mungu wa pili na Allah ambaye ameumba mbingu na ardhi mkasema ni Mungu wa tatu.
Yesu ndiye njia, Jumamosi kuanzia saa 1:30 jioni kwenye runinga uipendayo ya Hope TV.
It's finally here. The breakfast show that will kickstart your morning with a message of hope, coupled up with wholesome music, and of course, captivating conversations that matter to you.
We shall touch on topics on law, relationships, the Christian walk, and in addition, we will also be keeping you up to date with news and all the trending topics.
Join me, Bishop Watare,
and me, George Gishuru, every Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Hope at Dawn.
Only on Hope TV, where you look
and live.
Welcome back. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has called on the youth to venture into athletics as it is a lucrative sport which can uplift their lives. Speaking during inaugural Chesaita cross-country championships in Uasin Gishu, the Deputy President asked them to invest in athletics as it will safeguard their retirement. On his part, Nandi County Governor Stephen Sang has called on sportsmen and women to shun doping and focus on exploiting their natural talents.
Talanta, hela, pia hii maneno ya ukimbiaji ikuwe ni mambo ya pesa. Na tunajua iko pesa mingi sana kwa hii maneno ya ukimbiaji. Mimi mwenyewe kama ningejua zamani iko pesa kwa hii maneno ya kukimbia. Ni vile nilichelewa huko kwetu watu kuwa tunajua hii mambo ya kukimbia pia iko pesa. Mimi mwenyewe ningekuwa mtu ya gold medalist. Kwa sababu sisi pesa tunataka. Na kwa hivyo nyinyi mjipange na hii maneno ya kukimbia. Iko pesa ya kutosha hapo. Na tunataka kuuliza wanariadha wetu. Wale ambaye mumefanikiwa kupata ushindi duniani na kutunukiwa zawadi ya pesa. Hizo pesa mchunge na muegeze vizuri. Ndio hapo mbele katika maisha yenu mkiwa wazee mnaweza kuishi na heshima na kuishi na njia nzuri. Tunaona haya sana tukipata our gold medalists, our champions ambaye walisaidia Kenya na kuweka Kenya katika world stage. Uzeeni wao wakiwa na tabu, hata hawana chakula, hawana nguo, watoto wao wasomi. We want to encourage our athletes and other sportsmen and women to endeavor to invest whatever they get from their successes.
All the sports stakeholders, hii jambo ya doping, let us fight it as a community. We have raw talent, we have natural talent, we don't need to add anything. Kama kuna kitu ya kusukuma sisi tu ni maneno ya mursik na maziwa na training. So we want to ask all the stakeholders, let us work together with our counties to fight this challenge of doping katika nchi ya Kenya.
The Council of Governors Health Committee Chairperson and Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthoni Njuki wants county governments to enhance cancer screening under the new health plan being rolled out in collaboration with the national government, even as he calls for the speedy setting up of regional cancer centers. According to Governor Njuki, most cancer patients are being diagnosed when it is too late for treatment to help, yet a bigger percentage of counties have screening services at the most basic health centers. He has called for enhanced surveillance, not just for women, but also for men, insisting the prevalence, more so in the Mount Kenya East region, was alarming.
Lazima tuhakikishe kwamba screening na testing hizo huduma tunataka zikue, na saa hii bado ziko katika center zetu zote katika Tharaka Nithi. Ukienda dispensary yetu tunafaa kuwa kuna mtu anaweza fanya hiyo basic screening, lakini saa nyingine tunaweza kuwa tuna capacity mzuri sana kila pale. So Jaipego watapatana na sisi kufanya training kuhakikisha kwamba katika every dispensary in Tharaka Nithi unaweza pata mtu ambaye anaweza angalia hiyo basic screening na kufanyia hiyo basic testing kujua kama unaweza kuwa na ugonjwa, badala ya wote kwenda kwa hospitali zetu kubwa ambaye Marimanti, Chuka, Kebunga na Magutuni. Inafaa kumalizika hata hapo kwa dispensary yenyewe.
Well, we have noticed we are spending a lot of money, a lot of costs on at the ICU level, on the HDUs, treating people who would have been you would have prevented them from getting cervical cancer and other types of cancer through early screening and also through the HPV vaccine. So we are reiterating our commitment today to continue working with Tharaka Nithi County, particularly in helping to improve the skills of the health workers. And again, through Japaigo, we will be donating some training models to all facilitate the capacity building and training of health workers in the various facilities in a bid to support our efforts in improving the lives of women and children.
More than 200 gospel musicians drawn from South Rift region have been trained on their role in the music industry in an event which was held at Emmanuel AGC Church Kericho in partnership with Hope TV and Kenox Arena. According to Ken Kibelel, the organizer and gospel minister, every musician has a unique talent, and the event gave them an opportunity to learn and enlighten themselves. He said that the region boasts of about 70% of vernacular songs being played in radio stations, and there is need for the talents to be nurtured. Reverend Joyce Tonui of Africa Gospel Church, Kericho, said music plays a key role in worship, and the training enlightens them on exercising decorum and ensuring their content serves good purpose in the music industry.
I am happy today that we have hosted more than 200 gospel artists and musicians and church worship musicians that have come from various places from Narok, Bomet, Nakuru and Kericho to come and enlighten themselves. We as Kenox Arena, we believe that every musician has a unique story and a voice to tell to the world.
As Africans, we need to be proud to own the gospel in our own languages. The Bible says that John saw a multitude from every tribe, every nation, every language group. And so God accommodates all our languages, and so we shouldn't be shy to utilize them in our worship and liturgy. I also took time to challenge the media to do a bit more to host our own local talent, as well as play material from our vernacular communities. I think if you travel around the world, you'll find that they don't really play our music, but we are very excited to play foreign music. And I'm even challenging pastors and worship teams to consider a bit more African repertoires and materials in the Sunday services. I believe that the more we do that, the more the gospel will be brought closer to us, and the more musicians will have a chance to showcase their own identity.
It's also essential to lead a biblical kind of a lifestyle. You as a worship leader, the worship leading begins from your family devotion, from your personal devotion, before it becomes public.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Sindio?
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcast?
Really? Even Meet of the One?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
Je, ushawahi kuweka jambo kwenye mizani? Ushawahi kupata uzito wake? Haya basi, usitapetape zaidi. Naomba unigande, maana mizani ipo hapa kwa ajili yako.
Vyakula na mbegu za kitamaduni.
Na kutuliza fikra na kukuwezesha kupima masuala ibuka katika jamii. Tena kwa busara. Tukutane mizani kila Ijumaa saa 1 machweo kwenye runinga ya Hope TV.
My best part about being a Hope FM listener was Hope Through the Night. My radio was always on at night, just worshiping and getting the sermons at the top of every hour. And it really made me stronger, a stronger worshiper. It made me a stronger worshiper. My best part about being a Hope FM staff has to be treasure hunt with the boys and girls every Saturday morning, being Auntie Rhoda. Oh, I just loved teaching the children. There's a child who wrote in her composition, she was writing about her family, and she wrote one of her aunties is Auntie Rhoda. I was so happy because I'd never met her, but they knew me as their auntie, and just teaching them in the ways of the Lord. So I really thank God for every moment I spent at Hope FM, and even for now, being impacted as a listener.
Welcome back. Now in business, Incap Kenya, local subsidiary of Incap PLC Global, has officially unveiled Changan Auto as part of its portfolio in Kenya, marking the entry of the brand into the East African market. Kenyans will now have access to a variety of Changan's passenger and light commercial models that provide superior driving performance, fuel efficiency, in-car technology, and safety systems at a very competitive price point. Changan, which literally means lasting safety, has already solidified its presence in notable African markets such as Angola, Egypt, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, and Ghana, and stands as one of the leading Chinese automotive brands globally, boasting a 160-year legacy. During the launch held at the new Changan showroom on Lusaka Road in Nairobi, Incap unveiled 6 models in Changan's innovative range of vehicles.
Quickly start with the beast that is on my left side, and that's the Hunter double cabin pickup. So this particular pickup comes in 2-wheel drive version and 4-wheel drive version. It's a 1.9 liter engine. It is Euro 4. But it has been tried and it has been tested. The fact that its engine capacity is slightly less than what we normally know in the market does not dilute the power output that this particular machine boasts of.
Partnership with Changan and broader with the Chinese OEMs is a global priority, one of the global priorities for Incap. We have a number of the Chinese OEMs that have been onboarded to Incap portfolio globally in various markets. And as you know, Chinese brands, they are really developing so fast in terms of technology, in terms of the fuel efficiency, EVs, and it's something that Incap globally recognized quite early, and at the moment is the dealer with the most contracts of the Chinese OEMs in the world.
Has extended its unbeaten run to 3 games after playing to a 1-1 draw by hosts Shabana FC in an FKF Premier League match played at Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay County today. Shabana's Brian Mishira broke the deadlock in the 6th minute, capitalizing on a mix-up between KCB left-back Herit Mungai and the goalkeeper Gabriel Andika to slot home the opening goal, leaving the KCB's stopper with little chance to react. KCB's centre-forward Francis Kahiro responded in the 36th minute, skillfully heading home a long ball delivered by centre-half Nahashon Alembi to level the score for the Bankers. The high-intensity match saw both sides lose out on several goal-scoring chances in what would have given, either of the opposing sides the bragging rights of the match day. KCB FC will face FC Talanta in their next match at Utalii grounds. Harambee Stars has today held their final training session ahead of their 2024 WAFCON qualifier second leg match against Botswana. The team will travel to Botswana tomorrow Sunday for the match, which is scheduled on the 5th of December.
Tunafeel bado tunaweza juu kulingana na training tumetrain, na naweza sema mistake yenye tulifanya hiyo kidogo tumerekebisha, so tuko ready kupush.
The preparation has been going on well, and of course working from mistakes we made in our previous game in preparation for our return match, and from the look of things we are ready to get good results in Botswana.
Si mechi rahisi lakini si mechi ngumu. It is very much doable. The girls are ready. Tunatoa kwa akili yao the away aspect. Of course it's there, we are going to play away from home, but we are reminding them every time that kwa pitch it's them versus the players they are playing with. They should wash shut down on fans, wash shut down on maybe environment. The girls have trained together. It was also an issue because, like I said in the last press conference, some of them just had a feel of the pitch. They had not trained together. Now they've trained together. We've seen who can blend with who. We've seen who is ready, and yeah, they're prepared.
And Kenya National Volleyball Champions KCB is set to face rivals Kenya Pipeline tomorrow morning in the ongoing Eldoret City Volleyball Tournament at the Eldoret National Polytechnic. The Bankers registered 2 wins today after defeating Uganda's KAVC 3-0 in the morning fixture by sets of 25-9, 25-11 and 25-3. The team also hammered DCI 3-0, sealing the win by sets of 26-24, 25-17 and 25-21. Head coach Japhet Munala has asked his charges to focus on tomorrow's fixture against Kenya Pipeline that marks the end of group stages. KCB was drawn with KAVC, Kenya Pipeline and DCI. And with that, it's a wrap on Newswatch tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga. Have a good night.